Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the latest coin from the brand new Star Wars series of coins as issued by the Royal Mint. This series is covering the iconic vehicles from Star Wars, and this is the second coin in the series, the TIE Fighter. I've got both the 50p and 1 ounce silver proof to review for you all today. So without any further delay, let's start off by taking a quick look at the 1 ounce silver proof. Now all of these silver proofs are issued in these very elegant Royal Mint boxes. But if we open that up, what we can see inside is they do also come with the certificate of authenticity, which shows the issue number of the coin. And as we can see right here, this is issue number 761 out of a total mintage of 3,000. If you open up the certificate, you can see it also has the coin specifications right there on the left hand side. And as you can see, we have a denomination of £2, an issuing authority of United Kingdom. The alloy is 999 AG, which is the chemical symbol of silver. The weight is 31.21 grams, so it's slightly over 1 troy ounce. It has a diameter of 38.61 millimeters. The obverse designer was Martin Jennings. The reverse designer was Lucasfilms, and it's minted to a proof quality. So we'll pop that right there and have a quick look at the actual coin itself. If I can just get it out of the box, there we go. Right, okay. If we start off by taking a look at the obverse of the coin, what we can see is we have the standard Martin Jennings depiction of King Charles III right there. He's facing to the left, and just below the truncation of King Charles we can see the initials of the artist, MJ, for Martin Jennings. The legend around the coin reads Charles III DG Rex FD £2 2024. That is of course abbreviated Latin and would translate to Charles III by grace of God King, Defender of the Faith, £2. If we flip the coin over and take a quick look at the reverse, which as I say has been designed by Lucasfilms Limited, we can see a stunning depiction of a TIE Fighter flying through the galaxy with the stars streaming behind it. Above that we have the lenticular feature, which on this one would swap from the symbol of the Empire to a picture of a TIE Fighter right there. I'm not sure how well you can pick that up on camera, but I think you can just about make it out if I shimmer the coin just like that. There we go. Okay, so at the bottom of the coin we can see we have the Star Wars logo, and right next to that we have the designer details, which is Lucasfilms Limited. I'm a big fan of this design. I think it looks absolutely great, and the proof finish in the background really does make the design stand out. But let's have a look at how that compares to the 50p version. I'll just pop that back in the box right there and grab this one here. So the first thing we'll see is that these do come in a different style box. We don't have the standard Royal Mint box. We have a more stylized box, which once again has the theme of flying through the galaxy at hyperspeed, as we've got the stars in a pattern that makes it look like we're flying through them. Again, we have the Star Wars logo right there. But if we open the box and have a look inside, what we will see is once again we have the certificate of authenticity, and this one is a little higher issue number, as this one is issue number 1327. Once again on the inside we have the coin specifications, this one of course being the denomination 50 pence. The issuing authority is the United Kingdom, and one difference we do have here is the alloy. Rather than being fine silver, which the 1 ounce silver proof is issued in, these 50p's are actually issued in 925 aka sterling silver. It has a weight of 8 grams, a diameter of 27.3 millimeters, and just the same as the previous coin, the obverse designer was Martin Jennings and the reverse designer was Lucasfilm Limited. But unlike the previous coins, these coins were actually minted to a total mintage of 7,510, so there's a few more of the 50p's available than the 1 ounce versions. Both coins do come with a wonderful little pamphlet which has loads of great artwork and facts and figures pertaining to not only the TIE Fighter but the Star Wars series in general. Both of the pamphlets do contain exactly the same information, however the 50p, due to it being in a smaller box, is quite smaller than the pamphlet we received for the 1 ounce silver proof, which as you can see right here does dwarf the other one just a little bit. But as I say, that being the case, they do contain exactly the same information. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the coin itself and see how it compares to the 1 ounce silver proof version. Now, I'll take it out of the acrylic case right here. I'm a big fan of these cases. I think they look absolutely incredible, and I do think they do always look better when they have a picture in the background. Some of the 50p silver proofs issued by the Royal Mint are transparent. They may have a little bit of writing on them, but otherwise will be transparent, and I don't think they display quite as nicely as the ones that do have an image in the back. Now, I'm going to put that to one side because it's very reflective, and rather than seeing the coin, you'll be seeing my ugly face, which I'm sure nobody wants to do. But let's have a look at the coin itself. Now, right here, once again, you'll see that it has the standard Martin Jennings depiction of King Charles III. We've got pretty much exactly the same legend. The only difference is the difference in denomination, whereas this one is 50 pence rather than £2. So the legend would read, Charles III, by grace of God, King, Defender of the Faith, 50 pence 2024. Once again, just below the truncation of King Charles's neck, you have the artist initials of MJ for Martin Jennings. But if I turn the coin over like this, we can see it is very slightly different to the 1 ounce silver proof version because the 50p's are issued in colour, which I think makes it look just that little bit better. That's not always the case for coloured coins. I do very often say on the channel that coloured coins can be very hit or miss. I think if done well, they look great, but a lot of the times I'm not a fan of the colourised versions. But this one right here, I do think does look really good. Once again, we have the lenticular feature at the top of the coin, which has the same design to it, being the symbol of the Empire and also a TIE fighter as well. Just like this previous coin, we have the logo of Star Wars at the bottom and the details of the designer Lucasfilms Limited right next to it. I'll bring it a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it, and as I say, the main difference being that these coins are issued in colour, whereas the 1 ounce silver proof, if I just grab it right here, as you can see, is just a standard silver coin. Now, I'd be very interested to know what you think to this colourised versus the non-colourised. Are you like me? Do you prefer the colourised version or do you prefer the standard silver version? Now, one thing I will say, looking at them side by side, the detail on the TIE fighter does seem to stand out just a little bit better on the silver version. I think that's because it's a little bit more reflective. The TIE fighter is black and therefore, it doesn't actually show the details on the spacecraft quite as well. What I'm referring to right there is if you look at the wings of a TIE fighter, you can see all the little different details and lines on there, as well as the cockpit of the TIE fighter as well. It really does stand out very, very well. However, on this one, although those details are there, then perhaps not quite as noticeable. But that being the case, I still think it looks great in colour. I think it's a wonderful coin. I'm a big fan of this series. I think I actually prefer this series so far to the previous one, which covered the iconic characters from Star Wars, being Luke and Leia, Darth Vader and Palpatine, Han Solo and Chewbacca, as well as C-3PO and R2-D2. I think the faces on the portraits were a little bit difficult on the previous coins, but with these ones just showing a vehicle itself, I think they look absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of this series, and I can't wait to see the future releases when they come out. Okay, so how do the coins compare in prices? Now, the 1 ounce silver proof will fetch you back £103.50, whereas the 50p silver proof will cost you £71, making the 50p version actually the more expensive of the two when you look at it gram for gram. Obviously, in the 1 ounce silver proof, there's just over 30 grams of silver for £103.50, but in the 50p, there's actually only 8 grams of sterling silver for the £71. So, as I say, if you break that down, price per gram, it does make the 50p the slightly more expensive of the two options. Now, if you were a fan of these coins, but you didn't have that kind of money to spend on something like this, you do have another option. It doesn't contain any silver, but these coins are also available in brilliant uncirculated, just like this one right here, which is the standard brilliant uncirculated or bunk version of the coin. The bunk versions do come in both standard and colourised, and for the standard version it will cost you £12, whereas the coloured version will cost you £21. I have purchased both the standard and coloured versions of the bunk coins, but unfortunately I am still waiting for the coloured version to turn up, so keep an eye out for that appearing on the channel in due course. But that is the brand new TIE Fighter 50p and 1oz coin. Let me know what you think of these coins in the comments below. Once again, let me know if you prefer the coloured version or the non-coloured version. I think they both look absolutely fantastic. I'm very glad I've got both versions because I would find it very difficult to choose between the two. Also, let me know, is this a series that you're collecting? Did you collect the previous Star Wars coins? And have you seen the latest Star Wars 1oz bar that the Royal Mint are producing? I have purchased it for myself, even though I wasn't overly impressed with the design of the bar that I saw on the website. I'm really hoping that it was just a bad photo and the bar will look a lot better when it turns up, but we'll have to wait till it arrives to find out more on that one. Okay, so that's about all I've got time for today, so I am going to leave you all by saying, until next time, as always, look after each other, keep stacking, take care, and goodbye.